Chris, first off, I've got to ask you, do you like Christian? How do you like to be called if people come up to meet you?
I'd say Chris, because Chris Keys sounds a lot better than Christian Keys. It just flows better.
Well, it kind of sounds like an entertainer or something. I think. What do you think?
It does. I'm an entertainer on the court. That's what I am.
I like that. I like that. You come in, and it seems to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you have a lot of confidence when you're on the floor. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, I try to rely on God's confidence and not mine. And because God is just so consistent in everything, He has consistent confidence. I try to rely on Him, and people say, I'm really confident, but that's not me. It's all God, and I give Him praise for that.
Faith is a big part of your life.
Yes.
Where does that come from? Where does that belief come from?
Definitely my mom and my grandma. I was raised in the church, but you can be raised in the church but not be a Christian because your parents make you go.
Sure. But
after a while, I really wanted to make Jesus the love of my life, and after that, age 8, I've been crazy about God, and He's just awesome.
A lot of people are afraid to come out with their beliefs about that, but you obviously are not. I'm not sure what I want to ask you other than, is it difficult to do that? Is it difficult to get over that hump where you feel free to talk about it?
At first it is, because you worry about people judging you and looking at you wrong, because once you come out with talking about your religion, people think you're supposed to be perfect. You mess up and they throw that in your face all the time. But I've gotten used to it because I've done it for so long, but at first it was a little difficult.
Yeah, I can imagine it would be. At what age did you kind of feel like you were free to talk about your beliefs?
I'd say from age 8 to 15, I was I can't. But then after that, I was you know what? I'm going to do it. So, from 16 to now, I've been a lot more open with it, and my mom has really helped me with that also.
How does that transfer to athletics? Because a lot of people don't want to get their religious beliefs involved in their athletic careers. And how do you feel about that? And how does it help you?
I think it really helps me because it's more motivation. I do basketball, and I use my talents for God. And when you do things for God and not for yourself, it's really selfless, and you try to help your team. You don't focus on yourself. And because basketball is a team sport, focusing on a team and not yourself is really good. And God helps you do that also.
Chris Keys is our guest here in the halftime show, a freshman here at Jewell. Tough to get used to playing at the college level for you?
A little bit. The practices were tough because we run and run and run. But the games, they're not that hard. The players are sometimes huge. But if you box out, that might help a little bit. But I'm getting used to it. I like it a lot much better than the high school ball, definitely.
Is this a faster pace when you played in high school, Coach Kress's system?
Definitely. I didn't notice that much at first, but when I went back to my high school practices over Christmas break, I was wow, it's we're jogging. You guys are going so slow. But here, yeah, it's a lot more fast paced.
Do you like that?
I love it. I feel the more Coach Kress pushes us, I think it's more fun to play faster. You run up the court, you get more shots up, and I love the shot clock. Yes.
A lot of freshmen have said that when they come into college, they're not used to even thinking about that shot clock. Is that a tough part of the college game?
No, not at all. For me, I was never that player that was okay, we need to work the ball around, get the offense going for about, 45 seconds. No, I was the one that was if there's an open shot, we need to get it. So I was, I love the shot clock. 30 seconds to get the shot off. There's no stalling. I love it.
What's the best part of your game, do you think?
I'd say my rebounding. My teammates would, they make fun of me for it because I knock people down in practice and stuff like that. I love rebounding. I like the physical play. So, when you box somebody out and you go up for the rebound, and sometimes they'll get it too. You rip it away from them. I just love it.
Not a lot of people would say that. Where did you come to love that?
I used to play with my older cousins when I was little, and they were all physical, and my grandma wouldn't want me to play because she's she's a girl, don't do that, don't do it. I'm no, I love it. So I think I got it from there, playing with my cousins.
Sounds to me, we've seen your family a couple of times on our TV broadcast, but it sounds to me like you've got a big family. Would you talk about them a little bit?
I have a huge family. My grandparents, one of them, my dad's side lives in Indiana. I don't talk to them much, but my one's in Tennessee. I have a lot of family there. And also at the house, I have 3 little siblings, Kenneth and Kevin and Cameron, then my mom and my dad. It's 5 different personalities in one house. Nobody's the same. Sometimes we're similar, but it's just 5 different personalities, and it's really fun. It's never a dull moment ever in my house. It's awesome.
What does your mom do for a living?
She's a Mary Kay consultant / director, and she also teaches Spanish at after-school programs at inner city schools.
You ever have to go home and kind of pump her up a little bit because she's such a mellow person?
It's the other way around, really. I go home to get pumped up by her. Like, she is awesome. Like, the way people see her in public is the way she is at home. Like, it's non-stop, and that's what I like about her, because some people are different in public than they are at home, but she's always the same, and she's my biggest role model. She's awesome.
Speaking of public and home, what are some of your hobbies, or what do you do outside of school and basketball?
Well, I mean, let's see. I sleep a lot. I love sleep. My mom, she calls me like a vampire because I'll sleep all day, but I'll be up all night. I mean, at night I like to watch Divorce Court. That's my favorite show. I love it. You get a lot of relationship advice on there. I love it. I also like to read books from Mardell's. It's a Christian store that my mom got me hooked on. So I like to read books like that. And yeah, I think that's about it. Sleep and read.
I think a lot of, again, people coming into college from or high school have trouble in the classroom first semester. How was your first semester at Jewell? Because that's a pretty tough school.
It was rough at first. Like, I liked all my classes, they were fine, but there was this class called Responsible Self, and the books we read, they were tough to understand. And I'm that type of student, like, I will go in after school, before school to get help and all that. But with basketball, it's a little difficult to do that. So I just prayed for God to help me, and He did. You know, I started comprehending the books a lot better, and my papers started to come up better. So I ended up with a B, which is not my best, but I mean, hey, I'm comfortable with it. If I did my best, I mean, I'm fine. So it's all about time management, all about that. Really.
I'm sure I'm not the first one to tell you this, but that is the class that most people have trouble with. So
yes.
good to get that out of the way.
Yes, first semester is done with, over with.
Chris Keys is our guest here, and finally, what do you want to? First of all, what are you majoring in, and what do you want to do after you're done with college?
I'm majoring in psychology. After college, I want to play overseas with basketball, and then after that, I want to be a psychologist. I'm not sure like where I want to work in psychology because there's so many like levels, but I kind of like biblical counseling, and I also like working with people with mental disorders. So I think I might want to do something like that. But whatever God leads me, you know, that's where I'm gonna go.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now go out and pound some boards tonight.
Yes, in God's name.
And we'll be back right after this.